俺の財宝か？欲しけりゃくれてやる。探せ！この世の全てをそこに置いてきた。
Yo guys, and welcome to this new video. Since I missed these couple of chapter reviews where My Hero Academia is going towards possibly the most interesting arc we had in a while, in this video I'll try to discuss a bit all the new elements involved in this next phase of the manga and the possible ways in which Horikoshi could develop them to evolve in this way the main themes of the plot. But before starting, I will do my best to publish a new video every day, so make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell to be the first one to know when I upload something new. Alright, with that said, let's get started. So, the most important aspect Horikoshi is finally focusing more about is the complexity of the society he created for his manga, in a world where even if there are many regulations trying to adapt the reality to the appearance of quirks, the apparent stability all of this creates can actually be still easily broken by those ideals that, even if are not included, supported by the society we're talking about, they can better express what most of the people truly wish in this age of superpowers. Moreover, Horikoshi also showed us another side of this echo of the chaos generated by the appearance of quirks, which wrapped also weak concepts, for example creating movements that kinda adapt racism to the new context. So the author is finally showing us how this perfect facade of a society where there is the dream job of the hero, where everything is stable because of them, of that system, and the villains are kept under control, there is an immense overlooked fragility that he decided to represent with the Superpower Libaration Army. What's interesting about this group is how, despite the nobility, you could say, of their ideal, they do not care apparently of what they need to do to achieve their goal. Indeed, to collect data about the supporting equipments the company called Deviantart is going to produce, they are practically providing them to villains through the black market, which means they are practically powering up villains, and this starts to give the impression of an association completely blinded by its goal, an association that doesn't care about the damage their actions could cause to the same people they in theory should be helping right now, the same people they in theory should try to free from the limitations imposed by the society, which makes their ideal lose completely all of its value. But if this inner contradiction is already interesting enough to make this group a worthy solo protagonist of an entire arc, the way in which Horikoshi wants to make it interact mainly with the League of Villains instead, for example, the main protagonists of the manga, brings everything to the next level of complexity, substantiality, and interesting stuff. And this is because Shigaragi's group and Shigaragi himself are still searching for that identity they actually never had for themselves, and which is an aspect becoming more and more evident after the loss of All for One, who, by the way, could have had in the past his own interactions with Destro, creating a background between the League of Villains and the Superpower Libaration Army that could become another factor influencing the contact between these two groups. So on one side we have a group so blinded by its own ideal to have completely lost sight of it, and on the other we have one that, without truly knowing what they are struggling for, are blindly searching for the sight of what their master left behind. And in this situation the key to unlock the future events seems to be All for One's Doctor. Now, this character, already mysterious before for diagnosing Deku's quirklessness, was now presented as the person who developed the Nomu project, which means he probably has a great understanding of All for One's quirk and of how it allows to pass a quirk to another person. And considering how All for One himself considered Shigaraki his successor and stated that in many occasions, this could open the possibility of the League of Villains head to acquire multiple quirks, which will balance in a sense the new power Deku discovered in One for All. And all of this makes even more sense if we consider how the Doctor is also probably the element connecting this contrast between the League of Villains and the Superpower Libaration Army to the protagonists of the story, to Class 1A, because the reason why Shigaraki searched for him is most likely to make him analyze and possibly reproduce the drug overall created based on Ares' quirk, so the drug that can erase quirks. This will almost certainly involve the little girl in the events and thus Deku, Mirio and the others. On the other hand, Gigantomachia's role is kinda unpredictable, and considering how strong this creature seems to be, this makes him a very powerful loose cannon in the plot. The most linear development I can imagine for him is he acknowledging Shigaraki's strength after the leader of the villains acquires new powers thanks to the Doctor, but most likely the way in which he will be used in the events is much more complex than this. So after a phase where Horikoshi focused mainly on the students, probably to make it clear where they are now, what they are now, he is currently creating a setup including as many aspects of the society as possible in a world that is still trying to adapt itself to the absence of All Might. So this precarious situation will be crowded with all these clashing ideals, and the result, no matter what, will change what society is now. To conclude, after that a little deluding Class A versus Class B arc, we finally have something which seems to exploit all the potential of this series, and until we see how the next chapters will develop this potential, that's all for this video. Thank you very much for watching, don't forget to leave a like and make sure to subscribe. See you next time. Jane!